I've never lost so much time before. And so I never really valued time until I lost like a whole year of my life. And so I realized like the value of getting things done the first time, and like we don't have that much time on this planet, so I want to spend time like doing things I actually want to do and not waste time. That's something that I absolutely hate, is wasting time. That's what I did.
The meaning of life in a nutshell is just, you know what, enjoy it. And don't really give a shit about what anybody says.
You have to believe in yourself. You have to believe that what you're doing is right. I guess you really got to go with what your gut feeling is and what your passion is and your feeling, because you only get one crack at this, right? And one decision can have a huge impact on where the rest of your life goes. I'm from Winnipeg originally. That's where I was born, but I didn't learn really French until I went to university for 4 years, did human ecology, I'm gonna call it, the old home economics. And after that, I went to France for a year. Anyways, went to France. I met Alain, my husband, I met him. But anyways, that's another story.
I worked as a carpenter for 5 years, or for the 4 years. I completely switched out of my element. Honestly, I hated it. I hated going out every day at 7 o'clock in the morning, getting freezing cold in the wind and the snow. And I realized I just wasn't happy.
I'm a third-year advertising graphic design student. I started in high school. Like, I was just really good at Photoshop and Illustrator, so I decided it's something I wanted to do. I wasn't that good at math, so that wasn't where I wanted to go. In my third year now, the only reason in my third year, it's a 2-year program, fun fact, is because I ended up failing 2 classes.
When I was your age, I was invincible. I thought, I'm Superman. Bullets are gonna bounce off me, nothing's gonna happen to me type thing. And then you go your whole life trying to do the right things and eating well and working out and all that stuff, and it just sneaks up on you.
Like, my grandpa took me out golfing when I was like 5, 6 years old, and we went every weekend. And then when I played hockey with my friends, it was great, just being on the ice, hanging out with them, playing the sport that I loved. It was fantastic. I actually remember the first time he took me out. My grandpa's been a member at this little 9-hole golf course for, I want to say the past 25, 30 years. And he took me out with all his buddies that he always goes out with, and pretty much I just walked alongside mostly for the first time, but he let me putt and he let me hit a couple as it went, and it was a great memory to have with him. And the fact that I still go golfing with him on that same golf course when I go home for the summer, it's something that I'll always remember and cherish.
We didn't see each other for like 4 years. I mean, I'm Canadian, he's French. Like, again, I'm not leaving my life to, like, you're a great guy, but I'm not prepared to leave my life, nor was he. So he just kind of left it. But honestly, I was miserable. I really wasn't happy there. Because I was dating other people. I mean, I wasn't like waiting around going, oh, you know, and we would write, you know, a couple times a year or something. And then he phoned me out of the blue, literally out of the blue. I think he was in Berlin or something. He was working in East Germany at the time. And he said, listen, I can't forget about you. Is there any way I can come? I wanted to come see you. I went, okay. Well, that was the year I was going back to university to study education. So I said, I'm going to Quebec to do a fresher course. Why don't you meet me there?
Yeah, it was mid-February. We were building a boathouse out on Lake Muskoka near my hometown. It was snowing, windy. We were outside doing the deck of the boathouse. So naturally we were getting pelted by the snow and the wind. But that was one of the reasons I knew that it wasn't my thing. It wasn't what I wanted to do for the rest of my life.
Then we started this every 6-month thing. Basically every 6 months we saw each other. He'd come to either Canada or I'd go to France. Doom. And when they hit a point, I was 30 years old, like, we either have to do something about this or end it.
I was striving for the first 2 years. There was a lot of hiccups. Like, the first year we had the strike. The second year, I was going through some personal issues. And by the end of year 2, I was just kind of unmotivated. I was like not into it. I thought I was having second thoughts of what I wanted to do. And I just kind of gave up. I honestly just gave up. Like, there's no excuse, there's nothing else that needs to be said.
For many years, friends of ours just got together and played soccer once a week, just for an hour, just for cardio. I took an extra shift at work. I'm an HSR bus driver. The last minute, the senior guy called in and wanted his work back, so I decided to go to soccer. We were probably about 15, 20 minutes into it. And my next memory was waking up at Juravinski, not knowing what transpired, not knowing what was going on. I said, what am I doing here? And my wife indicated to me that I had a heart attack. And I didn't have a pulse for 12 minutes.
So from when I failed, I I hated myself for a while. I was like, wow, you really fucked this up.
A paramedic showed up, they put the defibrillator on me, and from what I was told, on the third attempt, they restored a pulse. And then they whisked me off to the hospital.
I was slacking, and then the last day, I literally had a breakdown, freaked out, tried to clean up my mess, didn't have enough time, emailed my professor, she didn't even email me back. And since then, I've been kind of cleaning up after that.
And I didn't think anything of it, because you don't think, at 40 you're gonna have a heart attack and you're going to, you always thought you were healthy, you're doing the right things and whatnot.
And I knew sports was something that made me happy. It's something that I knew I wanted to carry on with for my entire life.
I actually asked him to marry me because what the heck, for all intents and purposes, I'd already committed, right? So are you prepared? And it was like, absolutely, let's do it.
I'm transitioning into an adult life. I'm now looking for a career. I'm now trying to become an intern. I'm now trying to prove myself not only to myself, but to industry leaders.
It taught me to not take advantage of life. Do you know what I mean? Does that make sense? It taught me to, the time I have with my family and friends to cherish that time, to make positive and good memories, because in the broad scheme of things, life is like that big compared to eternity, and we only have a very short period of time here. I was lucky enough to get a second chance.
The fact that I wasn't doing something that I liked, it bothered the hell out of me. If something doesn't feel like I know what it's gonna be like, or if I don't get what I want out of it, I don't do it.
I think there's a silver lining, because I think if I would have graduated last year, I wouldn't have been able to get a job, because me a year ago is nothing compared to who I am today.
I'm a firm believer in your instincts, follow your instincts, and if you know something's not right, change it. Especially if you know what you want to do. That's very important. That would be my biggest advice.
And one decision can have a huge impact on where the rest of your life goes, right? So if you miss that opportunity, that one's not coming by again.
And I now know that pushing myself beyond my limit is exactly where I want to be, because that's where I thrive, that's where I grow, and that's where I can become the person I want to become.
You just do your thing, set your goals, and make a difference. And you can, and you will make a difference. Not even just for yourself, but for the whole world. I really do believe that.
Don't sweat the little things. You think about, if you want to do something, just go out and go get it. Just do it. Don't let anybody say stop. Don't let anybody say you can't do it. Just go and do it. And if you're not successful at it, then something else will come along and you pursue that. And you keep pursuing your dreams and your hopes and your ambitions until finally you get to that level where it's like, this is what I really want to do, regardless of what it is. Because at the end of the day, as corny as it sounds, as long as you're happy and as long as you're content with yourself first and foremost, that's life. That's what life is all about to me. And everything else would just fall into place after that.
You could be larger than life.